All right, folks, welcome back to another edition, and we have a hell of an episode for you today. How we doing, Big Rob?
Good. What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. We have a packed episode. First, we're going to start off, as always, with Pga Tour. Did you get a chance to watch any of the Mexico Open?
Not a single minute of it. I mean, whatever you call it on Twitter, I call it. But I mean, I knew Ram was in it, and to be honest with you, like I thought he was just gonna smoke everybody, so I didn't even really pay attention to it. Well, I take that back. The whole Grayson Murray, Kevin Na thing was pretty interesting, but that was about it.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So same. I didn't even know Ram was playing it. As you recall from last episode, like there was no field posted, there was nothing. So I was just like, I don't even like, to be honest, I didn't even know if it was happening, which sounds absurd because obviously it was happening. But like,
Sure.
It just didn't ring a bell to me, and I didn't really care for it. But I did watch about 3 hours of it on Sunday.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was good. I caught probably the last 3 hours. I mean, what's the deal with Cam Champ, man? The guy just can't finish at all, and I like him a lot. I like his style. I just feel like he's always there come the final round, and then he just does nothing ever.
He's got like 2 wins too, doesn't he?
Something like that. Very minimal. But yeah, Rom. I feel like Rom should have won by a gazillion.
What did he win by?
What did he win by?
Yeah,
1.
That's it.
Yeah, he needed a 2-putt for the victory on 18.
So, wow.
Yeah, here's the thing. He didn't really putt that well. He putted really well on Sunday. Finished like 18th strokes gained, but I feel like watching highlights besides Sunday, like he didn't make very many putts. So he probably should have won by literally 7-8 strokes. But I was shocked to see the amount of guys in it. Like I didn't really catch much of anything on Twitter or social media at all weekend. And then I just flipped it on and I was like, oh, he's playing. I'm like, why isn't this tournament like being talked about at all? Like it was very quiet, but there were some big names in it. So I felt that to be kind of weird. But anyways, it's good to see some golf. Good to see Rombo dominate. We got the Wells Fargo this week.
Right.
But Rob played his official round this week. This weekend.
Yeah. Not good, Tom. Not good. But like I told you yesterday, man, Randall Oaks is an awesome course, dude. I'm glad that that's on the schedule. It was just, I mean, first off, the weather was terrible. I don't think I've ever played in wind that bad. I mean, that's really not an excuse, but like 14 out of 18 holes, I felt like the wind was against you. But the course was beautiful, like fun layout. We got paired up with 2 members of Randall Oaks, not the tour. They were actually members there. And that was kind of cool. They were giving us like the little insights and everything like that. But the greens were fast. I mean, you could still hold them. They just had some really nice hole layouts. Like they got, a couple dog legs. It kind of played pretty long from the yellow on from the gold, I should say, on some of the holes. But man, it was fun. It was a solid course. They said the one member was like, man, you guys should come back, when it's the summertime next year, because he goes, this is a whole different course. Things bake out. They let the fescue grow. Like I think on hole 5 it's a par 5 and it's the number 1 hardest hole. And right now there's no fescue, so you can go right and you'll be fine. But he said, like, if come summertime, they let the fescue go. It's insane. And then they were gonna do some more work. I think they're, like I was telling you on the phone yesterday, they bought some of the property on the back 9, and they're gonna extend some holes and get another par 5 on the back 9. So that's 36. But man, it was awesome. It was a great layout. Like I should be on the schedule next year, and I think we should put that in the summer, if not even make it a major, because I could see how it could be complicated or difficult for players because of how the greens are set up. There's a lot of undulation. there's a hole 16.
I was just gonna ask, was our intel on possibly the sneakiest greens in the northwest suburbs? Was that?
Yes, yeah, for sure, like unbelievably fast for this time. They were awesome. The weird thing was like, even the one member said, I'm like, every time you hit the green, there was never a divot. Like, even though they would stop on the green, but there wouldn't be a divot. I've never seen anything like that. Like, they would still spin, but you just wouldn't see any divot on the green.
So were they like super sand based?
Yeah, yeah. I would say that's a fair statement. But it was like cool to play with the members because like hole 16 is a par 4, and it seemed you have water on the right, but if you didn't know that in the middle of the water, in the middle of the fairway, it dips down to the right, so everything funnels into the water. So you either got to nut it and clear that little path. If not, you got to go for the sand. So like they told us that, and we played that way. But like you could see the one member hit it straight, and it looked perfect right in the middle of the fairway. You get up there and it took it down into the water. It was just absolutely crazy. But it was a very enjoyable course for sure. And I was laughing too because you can tell what guys were on the tour, right? Because it was so windy that a majority of people played the whites and blues, but you saw all the guys playing the golds, from our side. So that was fun to watch. It was a good time. I really did enjoy the course a lot.
Well, the golds, it wasn't playing too long. I mean, obviously with the wind it was, but the golds standardly are only 65 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 6,700. But like on the back nine, the golds and blue are together. It's more on the front nine. There's a couple of holes that are, there's a good gapping, but but you're right. It was the wind. I mean, a lot of it you were hit. It was that type of wind was like a brick wall, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the ball would move on the green, but the funny part was 3 of us were walking, and like the push carts would, like, if you didn't put the lock brake on, you kind of screwed yourself because the wind just like literally took them. But yeah, dude, it was an awesome course. Easy to get to. Like I thought, man, West Dundee, that seems pretty far, but it's simply right off the highway, and it was for $48, well worth it. Like I would go back there again. It was a great find. So
nice. We're definitely I'm gonna have to get out there this summer and go check it out.
I go back out there in a heartbeat to play it. I would love to play it when it was in windy because it like I said, like there's some dog legs, there's some stuff that you cut. You can shoot low for sure. I mean, there's some gettable holes, but yeah, it had a little bit of everything, really.
That's good to hear, man. I'm excited. Speaking of courses, our guest tonight is going to blow your dick off. Guess who we're bringing in?
I don't know, man. What a bold statement here. Let's hear it.
Well, last week we mentioned to all members, players that have played Wilmette, hey, send us a DM, shoot us an email, come on the pod, break it down for us.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who we got? Guess what kind of strings we pulled to get this gentleman on here?
Well, it's got to be someone that works at the course, I'd imagine, right?
You're getting pretty warm. We have on the GM of Wilmette Golf Course, Mr. Adam Kwiatkoski. A fellow listener, Ben Collins, reached out to us, said, hey, I know Adam pretty well. Here's his contact. I'm sure he'll come on. Boom, set up. So tonight, Rob,
we're hearing firsthand,
and we're gonna bring him in right now.
Awesome.
All right, folks, we are back with the GM from Wilmette Golf Course, Mr. Adam Kwiatkoski. Adam, how are you?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Good. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
it's kind of last minute. As I mentioned, your former colleague or your current colleague, Mr. Ben Collins, reached out, fellow listener of the pod. Last week, we were trying to get somebody to come on and break down the course, and long behold, we're able to get the GM on here. I don't think anybody better. So let's go ahead and dive in. So you guys had a renovation over this off season, correct?
Yeah. So we actually had one. We did some stuff over this off season. Our 2014, we redid greens and some tees and did a pretty major renovation. So we've had a couple of things going on in the last 7-8 years. Coming out of this past winter, we put in cart pass. So we have asphalt cart pass end, which is going to make the golf course a little more playable on wet days for people that need to ride.
Yeah.
And just prefer to ride, or just prefer to have cup holders as they play, or whatever their preference is.
Right.
So we were able to do that this winter. We closed the golf course a little early in October last fall. So we were able to do some overseeding in fairways. So we got a ton of grass out there, which is great.
Nice.
Filled in some of the thin areas from all the play over the last 2 years. And there's a lot of green grass out there. The golf course looks really good. This is obviously a lot of golfers out there tuning into this. Even as diehard as some of you guys are, probably not played a lot this spring because it's been awful.
Yeah.
So we're coming out of spring, and it's still, it felt pretty good out there for like February today, but it definitely doesn't feel like May. So
right.
Everything's still kind of waking up a little bit, but overall it's good. So we feel good about where it's at. And again, excited to have cart pass and what that means for our customers. It's something that was needed and kind of expected this day and age. So that's really good. We've been able to do a lot of bunker work. We redid all of our bunkers with liners and fresh sand. So nice. Bunkers are in really good shape. Our greens, midsummer as fast as any place around. They're in really good shape. Like I said, rebuilt in 2014 USGA greens. Some interesting spots, but not goofy. We didn't do anything where there's like multi-layers or where the ball feeds off the green. Completely fair. It's a really good test. The golf course is par 70, so there's only 2 par 5s. Plays 6,400, which isn't incredibly long, but it seems to play longer than that a few spots. Like I said, with only 2 par 5s, it's you miss a couple scoring opportunities there.
Yeah.
Par 3s aren't terribly long, but they're not easy. So you get some par 3s in the 150 range and even a little shorter that have some water, some trouble, some bunkers. So that takes away a little bit from the length as well. But overall, it's a fair test. We've had we do a lot of high school golf.
Yeah.
So IHSA regionals, matches, conference championships, different things like that. We've hosted CDGA qualifier, a senior qualifier. The golf course really holds up well. So
nice.
For your good players, your plus handicaps, low handicaps, it's not an easy birdie fest, but it's a fair test. The fairway bunkers and stuff kind of come in where the better players are going to hit it. And it's a little more generous where your shorter hitters and maybe some of your either older golfers or, maybe not as accurate, 15 handicaps can hit it and go find it and hit it again. So
sure.
Not a lot of water. It's a fun place to play and great finish. 16, 17, 18 is really good. We go par 3, par 5, par 4, great par 4 to finish on 18. Just really kind of settle a match or settle a bet coming down the stretch. There can be a lot of twists and turns. So it's a good layout. And I think the people who haven't played will really enjoy it. And I know a lot of people that, participate in your tour and play in your events, do come out and see us. They use our range and, play out. So they're excited to have it there. I've spoken to a few of them already that are going to be glad to get out there and play it this year.
Awesome. Question for you. You mentioned bunkers. So I'm kind of a golf nerd here. What type of sand do you guys use?
I don't know. It is definitely, it's not like the white country club.
Yeah.
It's not quite that fine, but it's better than you'll find generally in most municipal style golf courses. We do bunker liners.
Sure.
The capillary concrete. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So it's like it's a porous concrete base. So the water drains through them, so they're not wet.
Oh, cool.
So, we keep them maintained pretty well. They're not wet and you're able to get a pretty good line there most of the time. Also, you're able to keep a little bit less sand. And so you don't get as many fried eggs and just like bad plug lies. They're in really good shape. We get lots. Bunkers and greens are the things that we get probably the most compliments on. Which if you're a short game guy, of course, that's something you're going to enjoy. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about treble holes for the listeners? So, what are some key holes in your opinion? Guys just kind of gotta stay aware and.
Yeah. So right out of the gate, we go 1, 2, 3, and it goes in like a U around the driving range. So holes 1 and hole 3, you got out of bounds right, which when you're not loose or nervous or whatever, that's not where you want out of bounds. You definitely have to kind of think about that.
Yeah.
So you get through 1 through 3, hit a good tee shot on 1, hit a good tee shot on 3, you'll be in pretty good shape. The middle of the golf course, a little more open, kind of a fun par 5 and number 6. Number 7, it's a par 3 with some water. If you get it over the water, it's a good hole. 8's a nice birdie opportunity. 9 coming back to the clubhouse has a tough green, but it's a good hole. And then you get to the back 9, and really number 11 is the toughest hole of the golf course. So depending on what tees you play, can in the 420 range. OB right, water left, water in front of the green, kind of 2-tier green. It's definitely, that one can get you.
A little bit of everything.
That's really the hole, that the big number. Most people can kind of stay away from big numbers out at Wilmette unless you're really spraying it, except for 11. 11 can get you. You can hit, just a couple little off shots and make 7. They're pretty easy. So that's definitely one to look out for. And then right after, you got a short par 3 at number 12 that's just got, it's usually a wedge or 9-iron, and you can stuff it, make it 2, but you hit a bad shot and get out of position. It's got 3 real tough bunkers, and there's some ridges in that green that you can kind of make a mess of a short hole there too. So it's a fun back 9 kind of through the trees, and then coming in 18's another 400 plus, kind of dog leg left, real good tee shot, frames the clubhouse really well. Good big green coming in. There's some patio seating and stuff behind it, makes it for a little bit of people watching you come in, which is always fun.
Yep.
And 18's another just key tough hole, but can be a birdie hole if you hit a couple good shots.
Awesome. Are you guys? Did I hear that you guys are doing something to your clubhouse currently?
Yeah. So that was the that's the tough part and the great part, right? So we're in the middle of some clubhouse construction, which I think when I talked to you before was like, well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Of course, the way everything goes these days, it's going slow. Yeah. Right. So we're not as far along. We're not as far along as we would have liked in doing some renovation. But we've expanded the golf shop, and we're in the process of getting new carpet throughout the clubhouse, and then we're doing a complete renovation of the restaurant space.
Awesome.
So we got a new group. It's going to new restaurant vendor coming in. It's going to be called The Lawn at Wilmette Golf Club. Just a new group coming in, all golfers, all really into it, super excited. We're putting a big bar in, TVs, making it a little bit brighter, more fun. It used to have more of a, old time clubhouse feel, almost like a supper club, it's kind of dark and fireplace and not really a lot of TVs, and just, it felt really dated. So now it's going to be, brighter, cooler, all different kinds of food. We're going to have some open air, outdoor seating, expand that and get some outdoor seating with fire pits and different things like that going on as we get into the spring here. So unfortunately, with the weather and everything else, that's not all going to be ready to go for the guys this weekend, but it's something to look forward to for the summer, and definitely keep Wilmette in mind. It's going to be a really good place to hang out, whether you hit balls or finish your round or whatever you got going on.
That's awesome.
You guys, it sounds like you guys got some big plans going on over there.
Yeah, thanks. It's also, so this year is 100 years, so it's our centennial.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so golf course was, first opened in 1922, so it's the 100-year anniversary. So this is kind of coinciding with some of that. And again, unfortunately, a little bit behind where we wanted to be, but by the time we get rolling here in the summer, it's going to be really good. So, golf-wise, everything's in good shape. So I'll be looking forward to have people out the next 2 weeks. Some of the amenities might not be all where we want them, but overall, everything's really good.
Yeah, we're super pumped to come out there for our Masters event. And
great.
Northside Tour listeners, just to recap. So it seems like 1, 2, and 3, you kind of gotta, be on top of your game. 11, be very careful on 11. And then you guys got awesome finishing holes with 16, 17, and 18. So,
yeah, 16, 17, 18 is great. There's a little, 16's a little par 3 over water. That's got a really cool green. So that's a fun shot. And 17 is a pretty unique par 5. So something to really enjoy out there.
Awesome. I'm sure we're going to hear some great feedback. I'm going to get out there in the next couple of weeks. I've never played it, heard nothing but, great things about it. So look forward to meeting you in person there, Adam. And, we appreciate you coming on here.
No problem. Thanks for the time, guys. I'm looking forward to having everybody out. So
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right, folks. We hope you enjoyed that breakdown from the Wilmette GM, Adam Kwiatkoski. Rob, that's some big intel right there.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that prior to my Randall Oaks little play. That's 11 sounds like it's going to be a tough one. So
is it? Hold on, because this is the second time you've pronounced it this way. Is it pronounced Randall Oaks or is it Randall Oaks?
It might be me, man. I say Randall Oaks.
Yeah, every time you say it, I keep thinking about Randall L. Do you remember who that is? No, the quarterback from the Steelers back in the day.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, no, I guess I just say it wrong. Listen, I'm an artist, not a I get
not a wordsmith.
Not a wordsmith.
No, unbelievable intel. I'm jacked to go out there.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Heard nothing but great things. The car path thing is huge. So
yeah, I wonder how many walkers. If it's mostly a majority of a walking course,
Yeah, that's great too that they got new sand. What fired me up was the greens. You just say the word greens and I perk up. So,
yeah.
Love that. So yeah, I'm excited to get out there myself. I really want to play. Well, it seems like you said, you kind of have the first 3 holes, stay out of trouble,
right?
Kind of go into autopilot, and then 11, you just gotta get out of there with a reasonable score, and then manage yourself to 16, 17, 18. So doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of trouble there besides those first couple holes.
I was gonna say it's always rough starting on a first hole that you got OB right away.
Yeah. But no, that's great. I'm super pumped. We're very appreciative that he came on and, was able to give us a brief breakdown of Wilmette GC. Hopefully we can get other GMs on courses that you and I aren't familiar with.
Yep.
Basically a lot of the new additions or some of the courses that we did bring on, Rob and I maybe not have played them, but we've gotten feedback from other guys. So that's the whole point of, getting these GMs on and, there's nobody better to break down their course than them. So, but going back to your official round.
Yeah. Well, here, are we in the trust tree? We're in the trust tree. Because I didn't tell you this on the phone yesterday.
We're always in the trust tree.
Right. I had something happen in yesterday's round that I don't think has ever happened in my career of golfing, even when I first started.
Oh boy.
And, I'll start off by saying that I appreciate the guys that we play with, because if it was like me and you and a couple other guys, you guys would be just dying laughing and just busting my balls for the rest of the round, just giving me the hardest time in the world. So, the 5th hole is the hardest hole on the course, and not to, say anything, but I birdied it. All right. The par 5. Ooh. Yeah. The members were impressed. Just put it that way. All right.
Go, Big Rob.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was very, I thought that was going to turn around my round. Right. I'm like, oh, sweet. 5th hole, birdie it. Let's get back on track. Let's just have ourselves a day.
Yeah.
And then the 6th hole is a par 3. Bogeyed, but that was straight into the wind, and I was happy with that. So 7 is a shorter par 4, and we had the wind with our back. And me and Vince were back on the tees because they played from the blues, and it was like go time, right? They're both like, you guys should be able to nut it and get it down there and be only like 50 yards away from the green, 50, 60 yards. So I step up there, and I'm like, I'm just going to kill it. I can't even say it with a straight face. I hit it. It literally, I lost the yard. It's never happened. It went backwards and it fucking backspin, and it was behind me on a tee. next to Vince.
Stop it.
And we were both just sitting there in shock.
Did Vince?
I had no words. I had no fucking words, Tom. It was the most embarrassing thing I think I could have done on a golf course, honestly. Like in front of people I don't know. I'm like, we're sitting here playing the goals and I just did this shit.
Did Vince lose his shit?
He kept it together, thank God. He was being nice about it. Because I used to have a really bad temper on the course when we were younger. I would throw clubs, I would break clubs. Oh, yeah. And, it obviously grew up, got out of that. I try not to like do that type of stuff, like get very mad, but I was just sitting there in shock. Oh, and yeah. the one member, after I hit it off the deck, after it fucking went back, it was just like, he's like, hey, dude, it's okay. It happens to all of us. And I'm thinking in my head, no, it fucking doesn't. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that happen to somebody.
And literally, like, by him saying that, for me, makes it 100 times worse.
Oh, but they were very nice about it. He was just trying to, because he knew we were playing in a tournament, and they were really cool about it all.
Sure.
But like I said, like if it was like you or anybody else, friend wise, I don't think I could have. I probably would have walked off the course with just the abuse I would have gotten.
Well, I'm glad we're in the trust tree, and I'm glad you could share that moment with all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if anybody else. I mean, we had, obviously behind us, we had guys on the tour, so hopefully they missed it, because it was just like I just couldn't believe it. Had negative yards on a drive. Hey,
man.
But so that's my story from yesterday's round.
Well, we're happy that you got in your official round. We're happy that you love the course and had great things to say about it. And we'll just put it in the rear view. We're looking forward to the Masters at Bolingbrook.
Yeah, that's another. I do have to say though, I feel like were you gonna say Randall Oaks or Randall Oaks? I feel like that's like another Heritage Bluffs. Like I don't want to keep on always bringing that up, but I think that was a great find. I think awesome to put it on the schedule, and I'm excited for the future with it, because I really think, everybody is going to enjoy it. But yes, moving on to the Bolingbrook, that was another course from last year that I really enjoyed. So I'm excited that our Masters is there for sure.
Yep. Bolingbrook. Let's start with their facilities first. Bolingbrook's practice facilities are top notch, if not some of the best around.
Yeah, for sure.
The course itself, I think it's a great master setup because it's very playable. It's super wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a ton of lost balls unless you're.
Well, you have to. I mean, unless you do even. To start off, I know we talked about it, but if you guys haven't gone to Bolingbrook's website, please do, because they literally have an awesome 30 to 40 second breakdown of every hole video with a flyover, and they give you the the heads up of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And basically what Tom is saying, like, it is wide open, and even in the videos they say it, but you got to drastically spray it for it to, obviously be a lost ball, basically. Yeah. But, it is a very targeted course. Like, you do want to aim at certain points of sand traps on by the fairways and everything, obviously.
Sure. It's always in really good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Super well conditioned. I feel like the bunker there is similar to like Schaumburg, where all the sand's like really white. What's the signature hole? Is that 11 or 12?
No, it's a par 3. I think it's 15 with the peninsula green.
Yeah. Great hole. Great little downhill peninsula green. The course itself, it's a super fun layout. Like I said, it's very playable. It's very gettable.
Their back nine. They're maybe after that 15, 16, 17, 18. It reminds me of how Mistwood is set up, right? Where you go around the big lake, body of water. But yeah, there's, you can shoot low, you can shoot low there. You can post a really good score. There's a couple of par 5s, like in those videos that say, like, you got to be smart about what you take off the tee. Cause I think it's the hole after the par 5 on the front. It's either like 6 or 7. it's a short par 4, but you have water going up the left side, and to take a driver there, if you don't hit it straight, you're in trouble. So, playing the hybrid off the tee is like the right way to do it. So
Right.
the greens roll, very true.
I was going to say, I remember the greens being one of the best parts about Bolingbrook.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about right now, but, they have the fescue. But there's a good amount of sand, but I think, like they say, you use most of those sand traps for your aiming off the tees because, that's where it's going to set you up nicely in the wider fairways. So,
well, that's so I was going to get to that once you said fescue. So I feel like their fairways are like extremely large, and the fescue is almost like only knee high fescue.
Yeah, it's not. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty far out. Like I said, you got to be really spraying the ball there. But I mean, the course in general, like I said, for a Masters setup, I think it's perfect. Just because it's probably one of the nicer, public tracks out on the west side. So it's very suitable for the Masters. Speaking of
it's hole 6 is the Treble Hole. Okay. Just a heads up.
Yeah. And definitely, guys, check out that flyover. I've seen it before. Rob's mentioned it. It is very good. You get a ton of knowledge out of that, as well as the Putt View books on our website.
Yep.
You could download, well, not download, but you could purchase one of those via Putt View. Links on our website. It'll bring you directly there through our link, so you can get a discounted Bolingbrook golf course putt book. So
yeah, you just go down to the schedule and navigation. It's in the drop down there.
Speaking of Masters, Rob. Speaking of today's been a hell of an episode, hell of a day. I got out and played a Masters practice round.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, with a fellow Southside Tour member, Jake Pineda, who's a stick. We both didn't play very well today, but we had a good ass time. And
how was the course?
It was awesome. I mean, we finished under right around 3 hours. Nobody out there.
Oh, I can't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah, teed off at 8 a.m. I thought the course was in pretty good shape. Yeah, I mean, for the amount of rain we've gotten lately, I mean, maybe a couple fairways that we drove through specifically on the back were a little wet, but for the most part, the course drained really well. It was pretty bone dry / perfect playing condition. It was playing soft, don't get me wrong, but it was not even close to being soaked.
Sure.
So yeah, it was a good day. It's always, great to get out and play Ravisloe anytime. Usually when I play it though, it's packed. So it's nice to kind of just take our time and
right.
Yeah. So it was good. I'm hoping to get out for the official, this weekend or next Monday. So looking forward to that. Speaking of, with the Southside Tour now into the Masters, Southside Tour Event 1 is in the books. And
where did we finish?
Where did I finish?
No, I'm just saying, where did we finish on the event? Who took it?
So Burke Sullivan won overall points.
Okay.
Yes. So he collected 700 points for the overall event. Breakdown of flights, Rob. Just a little tidbit here. Your boy Tom is T1 overall points A flight.
Oh, really?
And by the way, T1 a net little payout. Oh yeah, babe.
Oh, there you go.
Listen, man. I was shocked / pissed off because I'm like,
if you didn't miss those 2 18-inch or whatever putts, man.
Not even that. I'm like, really? I'm like, a net 75. I'm like, come on. So don't get me wrong. I'm going to be grateful, and I'm going to take the, I think, 4250 and run with it. But
they had to pay for your round for Ravisloe today.
Yeah,
or close to it.
Yeah, I think 4 of us tied for T1 net A flight. So yeah, of course I'm happy with it. But I was shocked when I saw it. I'm like, really? I saw it on, I think, Wednesday. I'm like, this isn't going to hold up, and then it held up. So I figured, I'd be able to, rub that in your face a little bit and see what we Speaking of,
I saw your Instagram post the other day, and you know what? You pick a course, and I'll play you. We'll do the match.
let's go. So speaking of, I don't know why we didn't talk about this prior to the season, and this holds no bearing on where I'm currently ranked in points, but we should have a little bet for the season overall.
Okay.
We'll do this. We won't make it about points. We'll make it about, well, no, that wouldn't make sense because we have more members than you. So I don't know how we're going to do this.
We'll figure this offline, and then yes, we'll do a bet.
Yeah. We might have to do like.
But I will call you out for a match.
Match accepted.
Okay.
Are we going to go play at a course that neither?
Yeah. Well, we're not playing on the west or south. We got to go up north.
I for sure thought a 95th Street joke was coming there.
Oh, Stony Creek? We could do that if you really want.
No, I just thought you were going to say, oh
yeah, you don't go north or 95th. I mean, that's the truth. You guys never go north or 95th.
Yeah, well, for a match, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I think, maybe it doesn't have to be a new course to you and I, but maybe something we've both played but haven't played in a while, like maybe like Cantigny or.
Oh, good call. I like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or we can get real nuts and play Blackstone.
Let's get nuts, man.
I mean, Blackstone's late in the year, so there should be no, back fun, hit drive off of one.
Done.
There should be no excuses.
No excuses. That's right. All right. It's settled. Blackstone. We'll do it.
Let's go. That place.
Bring in a caddy.
That place is probably going to eat us up. Oh, you heard it. We got a match set. Speaking of matches, Rob, this week we head to the Wells Fargo on the Pga Tour. Who do you like for the Wells Fargo?
Honestly, I don't even know who's playing it. Is Homa playing in it? Because if Homa's playing it, I'll take him.
I mean, I would go on a limb and say yes. From my source being T. It's a great event for long shots here, and this is the intel. As long as Rory doesn't run away with it, that's what I was told.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Homa was pretty much that's his first win, and he was probably a long shot. So yeah, all right. What's T's picks, man? Let me hear them.
Let's jump right in. So T's got Lahiri 100-1, McCarthy 90-1. Vegas 65-1, Webb 60-1, and his favorite to win the Wells Fargo, Mr. Russ Henley 35-1, and you could book it with T.
I kind of like that Henley pick, dude. He's been playing good, hasn't he?
He's been playing pretty solid all year.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say he was like 2 shots back at the Masters.
Yeah.
Like day 2 or something.
Prior to that, too, I thought he was good at the Players, too, maybe? Maybe not. I thought he's just been playing good. But okay, I like those picks.
Yeah. And then, if you're feeling crazy, you could sprinkle a little on Rory. I feel like this field's a little bit more exciting than the Mexico Open for sure. But if Rory gets hot, he could potentially pull a Rahm at the Mexico Open. So.
Too true.
Stay tuned for that. Other than that, Rob, we're going to jump right in to the top 3. Are you ready?
All right, let's hear it.
Going back to your little incident at Randall Oaks, what are your top 3 most embarrassing moments on the golf course?
In the 3-hole, it'd have to be driving with my brother-in-law, Shane, in the golf cart going. Oh, you played Lake Michigan Hills. All right. So you know how on the first tee, you know how you're the walk elevated?
Oh, yeah.
So we played, it was actually one of the Pawpaw Cups, and the Friday round we played Lake Michigan Hills, and it was pouring, but we played because obviously it's for the fucking cup. So me and him are we tee off, and I obviously not many. If you don't know Shane, he's half my size, and so it's like the cart. What's that?
Maybe a quarter your size.
Yeah, right. So the cart, it probably looks like, it's tilting my way automatically in the cart. So we're driving down that hill, and you know how that one turn goes real tight so that, the road's wrapping around to get down. Well, I cut it too tight and we just fucking flipped.
You rolled it?
Oh yeah, rolled it. And my leg, I got stuck. I got pinned underneath it, the whole cart, and he got pinned into me with the steering wheel. And we were the first group off for the Ryder Cup, right? The Pawpaw Cup. So everybody's looking at us from up top. It was the most fucking embarrassing thing. I got right up. My hip hurt so bad, but it's like you just gotta be a man and walk it off, right? So that's probably the 3-hole. Let's go with another flip cart. My second one would be the second one would be. Have you ever played Pawpaw?
Yes.
Lake golf?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't tell me you dumped one into the.
No, that'd be funny. But someone did. I mean, when we worked there, someone did that. They drove right into Pawpaw Lake. But going down 7, they used to have speed bumps going down the path, right? Going into 12, going back up. So they took the speed bumps out. And I feel like an asshole, but so you would always cut over to the next so you could just take it straight down. You wouldn't have to brake because back in the day, their golf carts pretty much had their governors taken off. So they were gas and they were fast as hell, right?
Yeah.
And you're just being young and stupid. And it didn't help that the owner was down in the gazebo. Well, we took a little bit too quick. And once again, we flipped it over. But this time, it just didn't stop. We went skidding down, the whole freaking. It was like we went down the whole road. The owner was just standing there, just shaking his head. At the time I worked at the course, so that wasn't a good look. So that would be after number 2, and then number 1 had to be what just happened. I mean, seriously, yesterday with the drive, I felt very quote Aladdin sheepish.
Yeah.
It was very like what the hell? Like I shouldn't be doing that. So that was pretty embarrassing doing it in front of other people. How about yourself?
Oh, those are going to be tough to beat. I mean, I have one similar to that. Never rolled a cart. I don't know how. I've come very close, but I would say probably number 3. We were young, in an outing, maybe had too many to drink, and I was in the passenger side, and I had to cut the wheel super hard. And I hit the gas and it kind of just unraveled super quick. Yeah. And went straight into a monster tree. Oh, going pretty much full speed. Luckily the cart wasn't over 10 inches. Otherwise I could be paralyzed because I flew out through the plexiglass windshield of the front of the thing, off of the side of the tree. Sure. Yeah, it was bananas.
Holy shit.
My brother-in-law Hook still brings that up once in a while, and he's like, you literally should have been dead that day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. So that might have been the reason I haven't tipped a cart yet. That experience. Number 2 is we've all been there, and that's taken a hot sloppy dump in the woods after a hungover night.
What?
Stop it.
No. I swear on every grave I could possibly get. I have never done that.
Back in the day when you were young and you went out on, say, a Friday night till 3 a.m, and then the next day in the summertime, we're talking, it was 90 degrees out, and you went and played golf. You've never had that happen?
No. If anything, I'd make myself have the cold sweats the whole round and just be miserable.
Well, see, I couldn't make it. So I had to run off the green, and I had to go down into the woods and do my business. I thought
your toilet paper in your bag?
No, I had to use a sock. You've never experienced anything like this?
Oh, you're in the trust tree, but I just can't believe.
There's guys out there sitting in their car or whatever, listening to this with a shit-eating grin on their face because they know they've been there.
A sock. You took it?
I mean,
so did you just
I wasn't going to use
the sock off?
I wasn't going to use I wasn't going to use my towel. So the next best, I think it was on like hole 14. So we didn't have too much longer to go. But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. It was just one of
How the fuck are you going to top that one?
I don't know. Maybe that should be one. To be honest, I was just number one. I was just going to go with like, actually, I know which one I was going to go with.
Oh,
So I was playing actually an official round, year one at Calumet with a buddy of mine, and he had his buddy out, and we were on, I think, the 18th hole at Cal, and I was in like that front left bunker, and he was like kind of back behind the green, and I was coming out of the bunker, and I scolded one into the bushes, like by the parking lot. And immediately I snapped my wedge over my knee, and I threw my club over the green. And this dude who I just played with all day, who super nice dude, he at the moment was like, he didn't know what was going on. He saw, two clubs fly over his head, and then we got up to the green, and I lied to him. He's like, "What just happened over there?" He's like, "Did something just happen?" I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." Later on, did he find out that's what happened? So once he found out, it was embarrassing. He's like, "I knew something happened, but I just told him at the time nothing happened. Just moved on, blah, blah, blah." And then I seen him like a couple months later. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I snapped that thing right over my leg and I threw it right in the bush towards you."
God.
So yeah, see that wraps up the embarrassing moments. I still don't believe that you've never taken a
Never.
golf course.
Never. Oh man. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
All right. Well, until next time then, Rob. We'll see you in the fairway and not in the woods.
See you in the fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.